The third largest democracy in the world is preparing for a historic occasion. The Indonesian elections, set on February 14th, is expected to draw a sizable crowd. Interestingly, more than 1 million voters from overseas will cast their ballots early. Did you know that over 200 million people in Indonesia are eligible to vote? That is astonishing, especially given that the United States has fewer than 170 million registered voters. Now here's where things get interesting. Indonesia has repeatedly had extraordinarily high turnout. Approximately 80% of eligible voters cast ballots in the most recent presidential election in 2019. In contrast, just 66% of registered voters cast votes in the record-high turnout U.S. election of 2020. Here's what you should know about the upcoming Indonesian elections and why you should pay attention to them. Let's dive in. You may be surprised to learn that there's an unusual requirement for potential presidential opponents in Indonesia. To be eligible, they must have at least 20% of the seats in parliament held by their party, the highest threshold worldwide. This hurdle affects the qualifying requirements for individuals hoping to hold the highest office, placing a major obstacle in the way of potential candidates. It makes the country's political dynamics even more complicated. The Progressive Indonesian Democratic Party of Struggle, or PDIP, headed by the powerful Megawati Soekarno Putri, has thrived under such circumstances. Soekarno Putri, a pioneer who led Indonesia as its first and only female president from 2001 to 2004, is in command of the PDIP. Her unwavering leadership has shaped the party's course and affected the country's political climate. The party's involvement in the ascent of the current president, Joko Widodo, popularly known as Jokowi, is especially remarkable. Jokowi was propelled by the presidency largely by the PDIP's backing and strategic influence. Since assuming office, President Jokowi has guided Indonesia's economy toward prosperity. The nation's GDP has increased by over 40% under his direction, securing its place as one of the world's fastest-growing economies. Jokowi's goal is to transform the country, not just the figures. His advocacy for widespread infrastructure upgrades is demonstrated by initiatives that redefine accessibility and connectivity. Notably, a controversial plan to build a new capital city to replace Jakarta is in the works, potentially drastically altering the country's urban environment. The president has elevated Indonesia to a prominent place on the international scene in addition to his domestic ambitions. By organizing summits of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, he aims to establish Indonesia as a significant non-aligned middle power. As the conflict between the United States and China heats up, this strategic positioning becomes even more critical. Jokowi's presidency has not been without controversy, despite being characterized by ambitious initiatives and economic progress. Under the current administration, the state of human rights took an alarming turn. Reports show that the rights of free expression and assembly have deteriorated. There have been difficulties with minority protections, particularly for the LGBTQ+ group. These problems have raised concerns concerning the nation's human rights and civil freedoms. Furthermore, under Jokowi's leadership, Indonesia's democratic institutions have weakened. Concerns have been raised about increased military involvement in civilian affairs, threats to democratic elections, and deteriorating human freedoms. The next elections will be crucial as Indonesia struggles with a shrinking opposition in parliament and seeks to maintain economic initiatives, mainly because President Jokowi Widodo is scheduled to leave his position in October. Now let's focus on the stars of this contest. The Supreme Court of Indonesia lifted the 40-year age requirement for prospects, opening the door for Joko Widodo's 36-year-old son, Gibran Rakabuming Raka, to run for vice president. Prabowo Subianto, Jokowi's defense minister, who previously ran against Jokowi for president, will team up with Gibran Rakabuming Raka. As a former military officer and right-wing member of the Gerindra party, Prabowo brings a plethora of expertise and political background to the table. There will be an exciting election contest between Prabowo and the two other strong candidates for president of Indonesia. Anies Baswedan, a former governor of Jakarta and Minister of Education, is a noteworthy contender. His running mate is National Awakening Party PKP chairman Muhammad Iskandar. Ganjar Pranowo, a former governor of Central Java, and Mahfoud MD, the nation's Minister for Political, Legal, and Security Issues, are the last contending duo for president. Interestingly, their programs emphasize a desire to carry on Jokowi's economic record. Jokowi has strategically remained silent in the face of the intense political frenzy surrounding the elections. Unexpectedly, he has not formally endorsed any of the rival candidates, but rumors are circulating behind closed doors that he may be secretly supporting a particular ticket. The assumption that Jokowi is covertly endorsing his son's ticket makes this upcoming election more mysterious. Prabowo Subianto and Gibran Rakabuming Raka are running for president and vice president, making waves. In a recent poll conducted between December 23rd and 24th, Indicator Politik Indonesia found that the Prabowo-Gibran alliance is leading with 46.7%, followed by Ganjar Mahfoud at 24.5% and Anies Mohaimin at 21%. Many people think Jokowi is involved somehow, but behind the scenes. Now, before we move on to the next chapter, don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to the channel as well if you like what you see. Let's continue. If no candidate attains a majority in the initial round, it's expected that a runoff will take place in June. In addition to picking the country's next president, Indonesian voters will also be choosing 575 new members of the House of Representatives. The democratic process will become more intricate due to an open-list proportional system. There's more, though. Provinces and smaller municipal governments will have their own elections. On the same day, February 14th, Indonesians will select over 20,000 lawmakers. This election is special because it's the first national election in Indonesia to be held in the rainy season. The weather conditions may affect voter turnout and the general efficiency of the electoral process. Indonesia's ambitious plan to relocate its capital from Jakarta to Nusantara in Borneo has sparked global interest. This massive undertaking has far-reaching strategic consequences and involves more than merely shifting the administrative headquarters. This capital relocation initiative is expected to cost over $30 billion. Given the size of the investment, concerns about the endeavor's economic viability and eyebrows are raised. To make matters more complicated, investors are carefully assessing the possible impact on the broader investment landscape due to the transitional period and the approaching elections. The presidential candidate's dedication to this makes it even more fascinating. Prabowo and Ganjar have expressed their commitment to building the new capital, Nusantara, and its importance for the country's future. Anies, on the other hand, has adopted a different position and is wary of the proposed smart city. The many points of view held by the contenders complicate this huge undertaking further. All three of the presidential candidates have expressed support for Palestinians, a rare convergence of viewpoints. One of the competitors, Anies, has gone one step further and made a personal pledge. He's expressed a solid diplomatic mindset on the matter by saying that should he be elected president, he would like to visit the Palestinian territories. Before formally qualifying as a presidential candidate, frontrunner Prabowo publicly expressed his support for Palestinian independence. As described by the frontrunner, this stance highlights the issue's importance in the political conversation. Ganjar, a former governor of Central Java, has uniquely demonstrated his support for Palestine. He was a strong opponent of Israel competing in the FIFA U20 World Cup in 2023, which was initially scheduled to take place in Indonesia. But FIFA later deprived Indonesia of the opportunity to host, drawing more attention to the dispute. The hope for Indonesia's future reaches an all-time high as the country holds its breath and ballots will be cast. Will Indonesians take a familiar route or forge new ones? Will social problems take center stage? Or will Jokowi's legacy of economic success persist? A new leader will step up, ready to guide Indonesia for the next 5 years. February 14th is more than just a Valentine's Day. It marks a significant turning moment in the country's history. The globe will listen to Indonesia as it speaks on this day. Don't forget to like and share this video. Check out other videos from the channel displayed on your screen. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.